Send the kids to football, send the wives to Target. It's garage time.
Episode 26, kicking it in. Here we go with the
Oops.
shaking it down.
My bad.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's all good. Anyway, basically we get into unsolicited advice, sports, the GTR, and what were they thinking. Some pretty interesting stuff coming up this episode.
Yeah, I think so.
So, but what's one thing your kids forget every time you try to go play ball somewhere?
Every time.
There's got to be that common thing they always forget.
Really, we don't do too bad when we go to play ball, but when they go to school every day, they forget their lunchbox. I don't know. We had a couple of kids this last practice, not today, but the practice before, that forgot their mouth guard. That's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, you need a mouth guard to play football. That leads me into our unsolicited advice topic of packing the kids up to go play sports.
Yeah.
And this is a huge problem, I think, high school through preschool. All these kids forgetting stuff. And, it breaks it down to like you want to teach them that they have a uniform, they have to wear it. Whether it's for work later in life, school, or sports, whatever you end up doing, you have to have it.
Yeah.
I swear my kid would lose his head if it was not attached.
Really?
Yeah.
So we pretty much have everything in a grouping. Like, you come in the door, you take off your pads, you take off your cleats, you're going to set your water here, and then I have a bag that's got like an extra mouth guard, just gloves they have to have,
Right.
my whistle, all of this stuff. So like, we walk out the door, it's all right there ready to go. I think if he was going to forget anything at all, it would be his water jug, which right now is a terrible thing to forget.
Man, 90 degrees, you don't want to forget that thing.
Yeah, but you just send him to the hose if you had to. But
yeah, so you guys do the watering tree pretty well, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
High school doesn't use it at all. We just take jugs out now, and it saves us 20 minutes throughout practice from having to run back and forth and do it. I think it cuts down on the cut, like screwing around.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're at a position where we can do that easier than JFL is, so it makes more sense. But so I'm with you. You come in, everything's grouped up, and it goes to a certain spot.
Yep.
And that's that way for whatever season you're in. Basketball, football, baseball.
Yep.
And so you put it there, and it's your dad, mom, whoever knows where it's at to put it in the car for the next day. So do you wash uniforms? Do you have a certain regimen on that?
So, well, there for a little while we were wiping down pads and helmets and everything with the Clorox wipes after every practice.
Yeah.
But now we pretty much at the end of the week will wash, the pants, because we don't have practice pants. That's one thing I wish we had practice
game
pants.
And you have to wear them for practice, right?
So we'll usually wash the pants and all the jerseys at the end of the week so that they're fresh for game day, and then wash them again before Monday or whenever the first practice is.
Right.
We don't wash them every night. I know probably should. I know that probably grosses some people out or whatever, but the practice jersey, the pants, man, they're going to be dirty. They're going to be sweaty. Unless it's a really bad practice, like right now when it's hotter than shit, yeah, you might have to wash them in between. But there for a while when it was 70 degrees and stuff, season,
And anybody that's been around the sport of football knows that practice pants and the practice jersey don't get washed as much as the game stuff.
Yeah.
That's just typical. I think my senior year in high school, I washed them every Thursday night after we were done with walkthrough.
Well, and sometimes you get the superstition, man, we really stomped them that game. Don't wash the jersey.
Yeah. And then you got the coach beating down your door, get this out of your locker.
Yeah.
Take it home and wash it because the whole locker room smells.
We can smell it, yeah. I don't know, man. Right now you have to do it a little bit differently because it is so hot. Today in practice, I dropped down with one of our offensive linemen and I got into a 3-point across from him. And I was just having him block me, opening the hole for the running back. And after the play, he goes, "Did you put soap on before practice?" I'm like, "What the hell are you?" "No, I didn't put soap on." He's like, "Well, you're really slippery." I was like, "I'm sweating, dude."
Soap.
Yeah,
dude, this is what you do when you get older.
I'm not wearing pads. I'm just sweaty. I'm sorry.
It was a warm one. I had high school practice right into flag football, but It's warm out there today, and it's probably going to be that way until probably Thursday or Friday, and
Probably.
then we have some rain coming, so that should be fun.
So so you pack your kids' bags for a sporting event. What is something that like you've learned you should pack? Do you bring like extra socks, like a snack, like
Oh, I'm the dad that doesn't bring you anything.
yeah,
Because as a high school coach and as a coach, if you forget it and you don't play, that's on you, dude. Like,
yeah. I mean, we did at halftime on Saturday. We made sure that we had obviously the waters, but we also had like apples, bananas, something
Oh.
for halftime.
Yeah.
But otherwise, nah, I don't bring shit.
I guess I've always been a coach, so parents take care of most of that. So I don't know how to worry about it. I mean, I worry more about my playbook,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff that I need. Extra pads if I'm going to need them as a coach. But as far as like getting my personal kid ready, we keep this stuff pretty well together all week. That way when it comes time for a game, and because it always seems like you're scrambling around no matter what,
Right.
boom, boom, go. Grab the pads, grab the bag that has everything in it, out the door I can go.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like I said, I don't bring a lot. I do bring a spare mouth guard just in case.
That's a good idea. I never even thought of that.
Yeah,
The moms might do it. I don't.
they might. Yeah, yeah. Usually my bag, like my coach's bag, has the spare mouth guard, the whistle, my drink, and then the playbook. And honestly, that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's good they have a bag of all that. That's pretty smart. Yeah, I don't do that. So
They just carry it all with you.
I don't have half that stuff.
Got a playbook or anything?
It's a sheet.
Oh.
And
okay.
for the high school, I have like a big lanyard that goes around my neck and just hangs there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we just have a laminated. It's not really a book. It's only like 12 pages.
Yeah.
And then, my drink.
Well, see, so I'm at the point now where if they don't know the plan, they need to show it to them in the middle of a game. Get out.
Oh, I
Who
don't.
knows to play?
Yeah. I actually didn't take my playbook off the bench at all during the game last week. The only reason I bring it is if I wanted to mix something up, like spur of the moment, hey, we haven't learned this, but this is what we're going to do. Because we don't have a dry erase board or anything.
Right.
It's just something to show them.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, I know some people that for their kids' sporting events, you've got a chair, you've got a battery-operated fan, you've got
Right.
snacks, you've got drinks, you've got, headphones, and I don't see all of that.
Yeah, you're packing this whole wagon full of stuff that you really don't need, and as us, we both have younger kids that are there watching older siblings.
Right.
You're trying to find something for that kid to do as well, Like, I probably pack more for the 4-year-old that's going to watch than I worry about what the kid is playing.
Well, yeah, and especially if it is like really hot or something,
Right.
they get tired, they get cranky. So I don't know. Sometimes you got to pack heavier, but I usually Crystal takes care of a lot of that. She
Yeah.
packs a lot.
Yeah, your wife's good at it. She really is. But no, I like the whole routine to set up so that you don't forget something.
Yeah.
For the last 6 weeks, Bryson was in baseball and football at the same time, which didn't make a whole lot of football stuff. But having 2 sets of uniform to carry everywhere.
That's hard.
Oh man, I mean, so when baseball's over, it's like, thank God, one thing's down. Now we're into one sport, so much easier, one less thing to worry about. Cannot wait till basketball comes because that all goes to the school.
Yeah.
And it's simple. It's
You don't
so
really pack
easy.
anything,
Like,
yeah.
it's the practice, you wear shorts and stuff, and you just throw them in your book bag. The game uniform, you only take it on game days, so it's so much simpler. But I think the routine's the biggest part.
I think so. And I will say, if someday, he's watching this or whatever, I will say as far as Luke, this season, this sport is the first season where, I'm not even concerned. I used to, hey man, did you get this? Did you get this? Did you do this? He's just on it. He hasn't forgotten anything all year. So I think it's a combination of really putting forth the effort into football, but also maybe that maturity too.
The maturity.
Yeah. So.
And that's good. That's awesome to see as a dad and as a
Oh,
coach.
yeah.
That's what you look for in a kid. You're like, man, they're growing up so fast all of a sudden. But
Oh yeah.
in reality, you've been grooming him for this for years.
Yeah, and it's good to see it pay through. So.
Moving on over to sports.
Yeah. What?
NFL Week 2 brings out some good shit.
What a week. So our Garage Time game of the week, once again, I thought was a pretty good game.
Was not the game of the week.
I don't think so. No. Philly versus Kansas City, I know that the final score was within 3 points, but this game never felt like it was in question.
No.
Philadelphia controlled the whole game.
Yeah, and it was a defensive battle for the most part. I mean, that only saying that because team didn't throw for 300 yards or anything like that. But you could tell that they were not going deep into the playbook.
Yeah.
Each team refused to do that.
Oh, yeah. And I mean,
week 2.
right.
I'm not showing all my secrets right now.
I think there was a replay that I saw at the end of that game. Jalen Hurts kneels the ball, and Chris Jones is like, dude, you don't even have 100 yards passing. And Jalen Hurts says, shut the fuck up, we won the game.
Yeah, right.
Which,
yeah.
It was not a crazy game. Never felt like it was in question. So looking back, obviously that was our Garage Time game of the week, Super Bowl rematch, it had to be. What do you think was the best game of the week?
New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay. So I think that's a pretty solid one. That definitely would have been up there for me. I think you have to mention Denver and Indianapolis.
You do?
For me, game of the week was Tampa Bay and Houston. That was
like
a
that
hell
one?
of a game. Yeah. Especially because Tampa Bay really struggled for the second half of that game. And Baker Mayfield several times looked like he was hurt.
Yeah.
And they just went forth and did what they had to to win that game.
That's the favorite moment of the week. If I had to pick a player moment, Baker Mayfield slow to get up. C.J. Johnson sitting there just trash talking. And Baker was like, priority number 1 is to talk trash. Right. So he hops up and immediately attacks this guy face to face. So it's like, that's football. That's what's fun. But you text me after the game on something I want to talk about. You said it is time to put Baker into the elite QB conversation.
Absolutely.
100% agree.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people want to say, like, he's got a comeback story. And the thing is he's coming back from being on the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
And he didn't have bad seasons there. I mean, they made the playoffs one year. He had that journeyman story for a little bit where he went to Carolina, then the Rams, and all that stuff. But Baker is showing he had what it takes to win, just like he did in college.
And so this is what I saw, and this is what I wanted to bring up when we talked about it. Since joining the Bucs, Baker Mayfield has the most touchdown passes in the NFL. He has the most touchdown passes in the fourth quarter, and he has 12 comeback wins.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think absolutely. We've talked several times. I think we've talked on here, even as far back as when he was in Cleveland, even when he was, in college. The kid is just an animal.
Yes.
They talk about having that dog, and that's Baker. Like, he's going to do what it has to do to win. And, I mean, it's really showing. This guy, you got to talk about him as one of the top quarterbacks in the league.
And what upsets me the most, having to say he's so good, is that he's on a division rival.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, man, I want to root for Baker. I want to see him take that next step and win a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. And it's like, crap, I'm saying all this. As a Panthers fan, I have to play him twice a year. But you know what? Like, let's be real. If you aren't rooting for Baker Mayfield, you're against the sport of football.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, okay, let's say the argument, he is not one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Somebody's going to make that argument. So who do you argue? Mahomes? Hurts? Lamar?
Allen?
Allen? I mean, Baker's right there with him.
He is.
Honestly. So, no, I thought that, for me, was an awesome game. Really cool moment for a player. You mentioned Dallas and New York, which was a crazy game.
Oh, man. I think the big thing on that for me is I, on paper, thought Dallas was just going to smoke these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect it to be anywhere near close, let alone watch Giants even have a shot at winning this game. And the big thing is Russell Wilson looked like Seattle Seahawks Russell Wilson. And he threw for, over 400 yards, or right around 400?
Yeah.
And he's hitting passes that
450.
he has. 450. That dude hasn't played that well since the days of the Legion of Boom and Seattle Seahawks Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And I love to see that for him. So many people wrote him off, said he was done, he needed to be retired. And he's coming and doing this with one really good receiver and a bunch of maybe could be third stringers.
Right.
You got Neighbors, who's a stud. I wouldn't go anywhere else with the rest of them. Rondé Robinson, wouldn't take him anywhere.
Most of them wouldn't be second string on any other team.
And I don't even know who the tight end is. So,
well, and I mean, so Scatterbo had his first touchdown, which is great. But I think, one thing we talked about early in the season was that it was a matter of time until Jackson Dart took over. But looking at the way that Russell Wilson is playing, I don't know.
Dart might not see it this year.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. If they keep being competitive and they start winning these games, I don't know that you upset that.
It's funny you bring that up. Obviously, you probably didn't watch hardly any of the game.
No.
So they did a weird switch, and I didn't agree with it during the game. Dart came in and played for like 2 or 3 downs.
Oh, really?
And it was weird. It was just like they put him in for a play, and Wilson was back in. But then I think they did it like 2 or 3 different times. And it was kind of odd because you couldn't tell what they were trying to do or trying to develop. And you thought it was just going to throw out the chemistry, and it didn't. It didn't affect anything.
I hope they're not trying to get ready to put him in because I don't think you pull Russell Wilson this time.
Right now, if anything, you stick with what you're doing.
Yeah.
There's no reason to change anything right now.
And in fact, I think that I would go as far. I mentioned it to you the other day, and I like it a lot. Going into the next game that happened on Sunday, I almost look at Jameis Winston going to somewhere like Cincinnati or something.
100%. With Burrow down,
yeah,
they got to do something. Jake Browning is not going to be the answer. So.
No, and not in a division that's up for grabs. And that's one thing that we were going to talk about tonight too. So I guess we could. Joe Burrow's down. Jaden Daniels is hurt. Who else?
J.J. McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy, Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Who else was out? There were several of them.
Yeah. There's a link somewhere.
J.J. McCarthy, Justin Fields, Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, Brock Purdy. Basically, 16% of the league's starters are already hurt at quarterback.
And that's huge.
Yeah. If it continues, which obviously it won't, if it continues, there won't be any starting QBs by week 13, which is
Would
crazy.
That be crazy? I'm okay with it. Put the Red Rocket in.
Well, I think part of the problem, if we're going to talk about Cincinnati, I give Carolina a lot of shit for the way that they rebuilt their team or failed to do so around their young quarterback. Cincinnati has completely failed Joe Burrow. I mean, they made some effort on defense. They got him some weapons. But this offensive line, he's getting killed.
Oh, yeah. They have not done anything to the offensive line. So, in that aspect, sure. But Bryce Young doesn't have a Jamar Chase or T. Higgins or anything to throw to.
Right. I mean, they've definitely fucked it up more. But you've got to start protecting this guy.
Oh, you do. Yeah.
I mean,
he's the new Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
he's the new Andrew Luck.
I saw something about that. Andrew Luck retired, and they were talking about how heavy he was sacked in his first 6 years in the league. And Joe Burrow's already been sacked 30 more times than he was. Right. So it's like, you've got to do something for this guy.
Exactly.
Or you don't have your quarterback in the future.
Right.
So, obviously, that game, Cincinnati beat Jacksonville in a game that really shouldn't have been that close.
No.
I still don't believe in Jacksonville. Don't care. Not going to.
Cincinnati gave them the game, and they still couldn't win.
Yeah. But I worry about Cincinnati moving forward with, Joe Burrow down.
With anybody, honestly. If you don't protect any QB, they're not going to play. You're not going to win, especially in a tough division like the AFC North.
Well, yeah. Think about, the defensive linemen and the linebackers that you have in that division.
Yeah.
That's a rough division.
It is. Let's talk about Chicago Bears and who they play this week?
Detroit. Well, actually,
yes.
Trick question, they didn't play at all.
They didn't play at all. In a game that kind of got out of hand, the big thing was once the momentum was gone, they weren't getting it back.
Right.
That's what it came down to. I think early on it looked fine.
We come out of the gate and we have a great first drive.
Right.
Both of these games.
Yeah.
Both of these games, great first drive, look good in the first quarter, and then the train goes off the track.
Exactly.
And
going into week 3 as a Bears fan, what change are you looking for? Are you like, hey, I just want to see optimism. I want to see us firing on all cylinders, pushing the ball down the field. What are you looking for?
So the hardest thing about this, the thing that deflates me the most, it's not this beat down by Detroit, because I still believe that Detroit is one of the best teams in the league.
100%.
That Green Bay, good for them for beating them. I still think Detroit's up there. The thing that discourages me the most about the Bears is that Jalen Johnson is done for the season. And that's hard. When you use a Pro Bowl cornerback on a defense that really doesn't have a lot of depth at that position, and you have an offense that probably isn't going to score more than 20, 24 points a game, that's hard.
Right.
But moving forward, we're playing Dallas next week. Dallas has shown that their offense is doing well, but with Micah Parsons gone, this Dallas defense looks like it's really easy to take advantage of.
It is.
So I would like to see Chicago move the ball well. I would like to see them opening the ball downfield, which they did with Adunze, and that's great. But I want to see Caleb Williams really look more comfortable in the pocket, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for. Everything else, the play calling's better. I am a little bit scared about the defense, but I think they can put it together. Swift is having a decent start to the year for what you're paying for him. But I want to see Caleb Williams start to really put together a quality start from start to finish and look comfortable doing so. And that's what I'm looking at. You hate to put it all on the quarterback position, but while we still look like we're scrambling around not knowing what the fuck we're doing, I don't have a lot of hope for us.
I think one way to start getting Caleb Williams more comfortable is probably to use DJ Moore a little more often.
Yeah.
He's been non-existent, and he's your number one. Like, you traded a lot to get him. Well, we traded a lot to give you him, whatever way you want to say it. And he's got, 4 catches on the year or something? It ain't a whole lot. Like,
Yep.
And I that's fine. Use Adunze if that's where the touch is. But DJ Moore can get you over the top and put you downfield another 20 yards. You have to take that deep shot. If you keep throwing it under the blanket coverage just sitting there, you're not going to get very far. Like, if you sit there in that 7 to 8 yard range, defenses are going to key in on you. These guys are too fast and too smart to just do this all game long.
And I think the thing that discourages me the most is not just DJ Moore, but, we talked about how many weapons the Bears have. And I'm a firm believer that with a young quarterback, having a quality tight end or even 2 quality tight ends and having a good slot receiver is a great thing.
Oh, yeah.
But when you look at this Bears team through 2 games, Colston Loveland has 2 catches for 12 yards. Komet has 2 catches for 50 yards, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And Burden has 2 catches for 2 yards. Like, you're not attacking the interior of the field.
No.
You know?
And that's exactly what they're doing. They're sitting back there on this sideline cover 2, whatever you want to call it, just blocking it.
Yeah.
And then all they got to do is blitz up the middle, and Williams can go nowhere. I do think he's rushing his throw way too much from the little bit I've seen. He's not taking time. I shouldn't say he doesn't have time. He's got a decent line in front of him. He needs to learn how to step up in the pocket. His pocket awareness is trash. Like,
It is.
It sucks. Like, I've seen better awareness in that than like a high school game or even a JFL game, but he doesn't know how to step up.
Yeah.
He can't get it done. So that's something we need to do. But I look forward to a bounce back week against a team that is beatable.
It is.
Dallas is not the show that everybody thinks they are. On paper, they should be. Like you said, Parsons is gone. That Dallas defense is not looking very strong at all.
No, and that's the thing. You let up 37 points to the New York Giants. You let up, Philadelphia kind of ran all over them. So, I think it's a winnable game if they clean things up. What about Carolina?
Carolina is probably the 32nd ranked team in the NFL right now.
I honestly thought for a second they were going to come back against Arizona.
So here's the thing, like, Bryce Young's first half was terrible. Like, you would have been like, why are those guys still playing? Comes back, throws for 3 touchdowns, had a lot of good things going on in the second half. I don't buy it. Like, to me, you're playing a team that's not that great, who didn't keep the foot on the metal. Like, they didn't keep doing the defense they had in the first half.
Yeah.
And that allowed Bryce to get going. They got things going. One thing I want to hit on is Ted McMillan, 168 yards through 2 games, which is apparently a franchise record for Carolina wide receivers as a rookie, which is terrible, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that good. But, because when we had Steve Smith, like, so what did he do? But Ted is doing everything he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
On the other side of the field, you have Xavier Legette, who's doing nothing. Like he had 1 catch for negative 2 yards last week.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? No tight end to throw to, which Tommy Trumbull did okay. The defense is doing exactly what I thought they'd do. They're just young.
Right.
You got Derek Brown on the line, who's going to be able to do a couple things, but he's a big dude, more of an interior lineman. Isn't an Aaron Donald type, so he can't wreck the game as much. He gets in there and he can stop the run. He's good at that. no linebackers, one corner that's iffy, that we overpaid. I'd be surprised if we win a game this year.
Well, I think so. That's what I was going to say. Week 3, you guys are playing Atlanta, okay? And Atlanta's firing on all cylinders.
Right.
Right. Atlanta looks good. If you lose to Atlanta, which is obviously in your division, you're starting out 0-3. I don't know what the rest of your schedule looks like. Is this kind of where you start to hit the panic button on Carolina? I know it's early, but
I think to me it's already hit.
you think so?
Like we had a good comeback loss. Sure, we had a good comeback loss against the Cardinals last week. Against a bad team though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Arizona's a top team in the league at all. And in the first half, we made them look like it. So yeah, we made some good adjustments on offense. No adjustments on defense. Their defense didn't make any adjustments, obviously. So I don't know. We'll see what happens this week. Don't write them off yet. It's 0-2. Now, there's a reason why we play all the games, but I don't look for Carolina to do anything special.
So what about, is there a team that you think, and we could go through every game, but is there a team that you think is kind of riding under the radar that maybe people haven't taken notice of yet? Like, this is going to be a good team. I can start while you think about that.
Honestly, mine was Indy. I mean, I called that.
I'm going to send the letter to Danny Dimes. I'm sorry. Indiana Jones. He has got a fucking awesome nickname now, too.
Indy was my team that was under the radar to start the season, and I think they're there. I mean, a great win over Denver, which, in my thought, Denver had the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have went that way. So I'm still going to stick with that. Atlanta's firing on all cylinders. Didn't expect that. Let's see. Green Bay's playing way better than I think everybody expected. Let's see. Giants are firing pretty decent. Chargers, which we've all talked about that numerous times now.
Right.
So Seattle defense is probably one of the top ones in the league right now.
Yeah. So Atlanta has looked good, and you and I talked about Monday night when we got ready to watch that game. If Atlanta comes out here and they beat Minnesota, and you said if they start showing that they know how to use Kyle Pitts, and I said if they start showing that they know how to use Bijan Robinson, this team could be dangerous, and they're doing those things.
Yes, they did both of them.
They manhandled Minnesota. Pitts is getting targets, and he's moving the ball. Bijan looks like a freaking Swiss Army knife.
Yep.
This team's dangerous, and we have talked about the Chargers. I thought that the Packers were going to be pretty good. It pained me. I had them at 6 in my power rankings. I think the Rams are looking pretty good.
Who they played?
So they played Tennessee this week.
Exactly.
Yeah. But they played Houston in week 1. And when they played Houston in week 1, they didn't look great. But that defense made us really start to wonder if Houston was going to turn things on this season.
Right.
And then when they turned around and they played Tampa this week, we realized maybe Houston didn't suck. So, I don't know. Cooper Kupp got overused, and Devontae Adams is over his prime. We'll say that.
Yeah.
But I think that as long as Stafford stays healthy, the way the division looks with the 49ers looking weaker this year, I still think sooner or later Seattle hits a wall with Sam Darnold.
Oh, yeah.
It's just got to happen. I don't believe in Kyler Murray. They could really be a sneaky team moving forward.
Oh, 100% could.
So,
they got a great young defense. They do.
Yeah.
I mean, Jerry Bursey's going to be a stud.
Right.
He's going to be great. I think Devontae Adams is doing the perfect thing. He is taking that slot presence and bringing in people to where Puka can go out over the top and get all the catches. It's working out great.
yeah.
Higbee as a tight end, usually pretty reliable, going to get you chunk yardage. He does that. Kyron Williams is a decent running back. Like, he's probably top 10, I would say. I mean, he's good when he's on. And then you've got Stafford, who over the course of his career has always been consistent and reliable. I mean, that's a good offense there. Defense is young. They're flying around making plays. I like that. That's a good. I also don't want to give them too much credit. They did play Tennessee, who it's nothing. That's like beating Carolina. Oh, okay. Good job. You're supposed to do that.
Right.
Who does the Rams play this week?
Hang on.
We can get onto that later. But
They play Philadelphia.
Yeah. So ask me again next week.
Okay.
And we'll talk about this.
Yeah.
I hate trying to compare these games early on when you strategize like you're going in to play Tennessee. I'm running the basic plays. I'm not showing my playbook.
Right.
I'm doing the things I need to do because I know I can win this game. I need to win it this way. But yeah, no, I like that. You think the Rams are a sleeper? I respect it.
Is there a team that you think has been disappointing so far?
Kansas City,
Yeah,
tough schedule. I'll give it to them.
very tough start. And
But they're dropping a lot of passes they shouldn't be dropped. Kelsey looks washed. Like,
Right.
I hate to say it, Travis Kelsey is one of my favorite players in the league. Love the way he plays the game. Love how he attacks everything. But he's dropping stuff he shouldn't be dropping. Like, awful.
And they have a terrible start to this season. So
Very tough schedule.
they
100%.
play the Giants next week. After that, they play Baltimore, and then they go to Jacksonville. I mean,
So,
that's a rough stretch.
it is.
But Kansas City has looked rough. Honestly, I think Washington has not looked great so far.
Well, here's the thing, though. So, as a rookie, you don't have any tape on yourself.
Right.
Nobody else has tape on you. Well, now they all have tape on Jaden Daniels, and they're figuring him out. They know his tendencies. They know which way he wants to roll, how he's going to throw the ball, where he's looking. It happens.
I just think it'll be interesting to see how they adjust over the season. I still think that they're a great team.
Oh, 100%.
But so far, a little bit slow getting out of the gate. So
We got to think about it. They had a two-headed monster, and Eckler's gone.
yeah,
He's out for the year. You can only be able to throw the ball to Scary Terry so many times before they figure that out. So, they're going to have to come up with some creative stuff. That's a good coaching staff over there. They'll get it done. It's a tough division, so they're going to have to bring everything out to compete.
yeah. All right, and then I think the only team we haven't really talked about. There might be some others if you want to bring them up, but New England. Is New England week 1 New England or week 2 New England? Which team are they?
New England is post Tom Brady New England. They're trying to figure out what their identity is.
Are they the team that only scored 9 points and lost to the Raiders? Or are they the team that dropped 33 on the Dolphins?
Yeah. And once again, two terrible teams. They're trying to, Miami is right down there with the Carolina, Jacksonville teams. Like, they're not good. They're going to be, if you're a fantasy player, whoever defense is playing Miami, that's the defense you're picking up for the week.
Right.
Miami's offense is not going to score any, so good chance to pick stuff up. I don't want to put too much. Drake May is looking good. I like some of the things I've seen out of him. A lot of no-name wide receivers are getting the ball and making plays. Really thought Trayvon Henderson would get more stuff out.
I expected to see more out of Trayvon Henderson.
But Ramondre Stevenson took the bulk of the carries last week and did everything he was supposed to do, which I can also see as a coach, I'm not putting my rookie out there to get hurt in a game I don't need him to.
Yeah.
So I can respect it. Cost me some money because I had money running on Henderson getting some of the yards against Miami, and they didn't use him. So,
At all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how it went. But you know what my favorite number is right now?
What's that?
3.
3. Why is that?
That's the Cubs magic number as of today.
2.
Oh, it's 2 now?
They won.
Let's go!
So I think we're going to be okay. I
Yeah.
hope God.
I mean, what are we, 89 wins?
Yeah.
That's way higher than I expected.
Right.
Let's go. We're getting a Cubtober. It's got to happen, right?
We definitely should. I mean, hell, there's just under 2 weeks of games left.
Right.
So the last game of the season is on September 28th.
Yep.
We're
Not
filming
Monday.
this on the 16th. They just beat the Pirates in game 2. Man, they got to get in, right?
Yeah. So
now-
what's the schedule look like? You got to pull it up now?
The schedule looks great. Yes, I wanted to talk about this. So for the remaining, we're just going to talk about the rest of the year because there's only so many series
Right.
left.
Yeah,
right?
let's do that.
They have the last game tomorrow against Pittsburgh, which honestly, they pretty much damn well should sweep them.
I would think we sweep them. Yep.
Then we play the Reds in a 4-game series. Then we play the Mets, and then we close out against the Cardinals.
I like it.
I don't hate
I
it.
like it.
I don't
I
hate
mean,
it.
that's pretty good. Mets scare me a little bit. They've always been kind of the team to watch at the end of the season. Obviously, we've had history in the postseason with them.
Right.
But yeah, we should be getting a Cubtober, whether it's for one game or whatever. But we should be getting it.
The only thing that really scares me about the remaining season is that technically, right now, the Mets, Cincinnati, and even St. Louis are still in the hunt for a wild card.
Yep.
St. Louis almost is not, but they're still there. The Mets are right there, and Cincinnati's not far behind.
So all I hear is if we win out and shut all these guys out,
If we win out, yeah. If we just don't lose the rest of the year and win the World Series, we're going to have a great year.
yeah, exactly. So, and they've been hit and miss. They've been streaky. They've done a couple signings, I think, that brought some life in, like the old first baseman we brought in.
What, Turner?
No, the other one that we signed later. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
they brought in some life with the September call-up stuff. This kind of gotten these kids going again.
They have.
Granted they lost, but there was a retirement day. Wrigley was up and going and excited. So the fan base is still there. We're still happy. We're still excited. You got a lot of players that are out there still trying to get things done. Hap got called a big dumper by Rizzo. I thought that was funny. Pitching's looking great. I mean,
You know who else looks really good here lately? Michael Bush.
Michael, yeah.
I don't want to say I told you so, but
It's okay. You can say it. Like,
yeah, I was high on this kid at the beginning of the year, and he has looked awesome.
yeah.
Speaking of which, shout out, friend of the podcast, Cousin Cal hit 2 home runs tonight, which means that he broke Mickey Mantle's record for the most home runs by a switch hitter.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Which would put him at what, 54?
Fi-
50,
No, he will be at 56 now.
50. Holy cow.
Yeah. Because he had
Holy
50.
cow. You see what I did there?
I did.
Ah! Pun.
He went into tonight with 54.
54.
And
That's
he
right.
hit
Okay.
2 more.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
And you got to think about it, like him, Judge, like we're
Oh, yeah.
witnessing history. But here's something I always want to talk about this, and I love bringing it up, even though I'm a Cubs fan. Is we saw this every year from Albert Pujols,
Yep.
and did not realize how good that guy was.
Oh yeah.
Back then we had Pujols, we had Bonds. We were spoiled growing up, and now these kids are getting to see it again.
And it's great.
Like my kid is like he's a Cub fan through and through, but loved watching Cousin Cal, Judge just sling the ball. And why wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
Like I remember being excited when I was 12 to 15 years old, watching these kids just crush it, and it's exciting.
It is exciting. And so looking at the standings for the rest of the league, we've already had some teams that are locked up.
Yeah.
Philly locked up
So they
today.
locked it up.
Milwaukee
Yeah, because they're what 9 ahead.
they clinched the playoff spot.
Right.
So
Oh, the division's still open. Okay.
the division's still open. Yep.
Nice.
Um,
Here we go.
a couple of these are close. Dodgers and San Diego are within a couple of games of each other. Toronto and the Yankees are within a couple of games of each other. Detroit should lock up the next couple of days.
Yep, they should.
And Seattle and Houston are neck and neck, only a half a game apart.
Whew.
So,
Good, exciting 2 weeks left in the MLB then. What's it looking like? Do they have a playoff thing? You already answered.
yeah, I
No
got
big
it.
deal.
No, it's right here.
I was wondering, who is looking like we could play first round of playoffs?
Okay, so we had a playoff bracket right now.
Yeah,
as
is
it
there
stands
anything like
today.
that up right now?
Probably, yeah.
Because there's some teams we just don't want to play in the playoffs.
Correct.
We're historically bad against the Mets, or Washington or Philly. Any other team, but I don't think Washington's got a thing in there.
Oof. The way it sits right now is that we would be the number 4 seed playing the Padres in the wild card round, and then winner would play the Brewers.
Let's go. I take it.
Who they have right now, and I'm just going to list them because obviously this could change. Astros, Mariners, Tigers, Red Sox, Yankees, Blue Jays,
Okay.
Mets, Dodgers, Phillies, Padres, Cubs, Brewers.
Okay.
I kind of like that. In fact, we have beat every one of those teams this year at some point.
Yes, we have. Let's go. Cubtober.
So yeah, I'm not upset about that. Obviously, it'll change some. But
No, I'm with you. Would be super excited to see how it goes. Moving on to the GTR.
yeah,
You finally
Huh.
got to pop the cherry.
yep,
You coached your first tackle football game
yeah.
on one of the hottest days of the freaking year,
It
by
was
the way.
so hot.
Terrible day for heat, I should say. Was it everything you thought it was going to be?
It was
Obviously, you
rough.
lost, so that made it worse. But
Yeah, no, I mean, I was proud of the boys because, like you said, hottest day of the year. We had 15 boys and an 11-man team, so a lot of people tired, not
Yes.
able to give the breaks you wanted. We were handicapped a little bit by some things that we did or didn't do in practice, and I'm not blaming anybody, just things that open your eyes. There's always something to improve
Right.
upon.
Yep.
But man, that heat killed us.
Right.
Those boys hung in there. We had one that actually left for heat stroke. But the guys hung in there. And one thing I'm really proud about my kid is he's not a starter on this team at the moment, but whenever somebody needed a break, he stood up and he was ready to plug in, and he played any position we put him in. He never once asked for a break. When other guys were sitting on the bench and I was yelling, "Hey guys, I can't sub you in if you're not over here," Luke was right there ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I'm really proud of, is even though he wasn't a starter, very, very key for that game. So liked seeing that. It was definitely a different monster. Man, a lot of things to work on.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what it starts out as. But you get so caught up in first tackle football game, that maybe you forget a few small things.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment, some fundamentals, and it happens. Every coach goes through this with their first tackle football game. Like,
Yes.
it's a whole different animal, and you're playing 5th and 6th grade with your team is majority 5th graders,
Right. They're young.
and you're playing a team that had majority 6th graders. So,
And unfortunately, even though, and not making excuses, even though it was our first game, it was the other team's third game.
right,
And we had 16 or 15 players for 11-man football. They had 28.
right,
And their coach actually walked up to us afterwards and he said, "Hey, I just want to say I'm really proud of your guys. None of my players saw both sides of the ball tonight." He's like, "But all of yours did."
right,
So he was impressed by that. That was cool to see.
and that's huge right there.
Yeah,
That statement on a day, what was it, 95?
it was, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was hot. For 5th and 6th grade kids that have to play both ways, one, you can't prepare for that.
You can't.
I mean, you prepare for both ways, but in the heat. I mean, that's just hard. Like, what are you going to do? Crank up a sauna and practice in it? Like, there's no way to do it. And the fact that, yeah, they were sitting on the sideline. I watched the game. They were sitting down. But as soon as they could get up and go again, they did.
Right.
And a lot of these kids, it's their first game, and this is how they got hit. It's going to get easier from here on out.
Her expectations, we did lose a couple of guys.
Did you?
Yep. And I think some of that is a combination of the huge jump from flag football to tackle football. I think some of it was the heat. I think some of it was probably eye-opening when a kid you don't know hits you.
Right.
Because even in practice, the kids get fired up, but they're still your friends. You're laying off a little bit at this age. When you get into high school, you're smacking them even if they are your friend.
Right.
If anything, you're hitting them harder because they're your friend.
Exactly, yeah.
But having another team hit you, kids that don't know you, we had 2 kids this week that quit. And that's tough because we were already really short.
Right.
So,
And that happens, though. I mean, that happens at every level,
Yeah.
almost everywhere you go. And it sucks. Hopefully those kids toughen up a little bit and come back next year. I don't know what the reason they quit. It really doesn't matter. But hopefully it's not, I'm quitting forever, I just can't do this right now kind of thing.
right.
Not a big fan of parents letting kids quit. Tough it out, finish it up.
Right.
But that's a whole different ball game. So, yeah. But you got your first game out of the way. You got another one this weekend.
Much more excited about game 2.
Yeah. So, and like you said, the big factor is a young team versus a veteran team. 3 game versus 1, huge.
Yeah.
95-degree heat. It's going to get easier.
Now we've got a game under our belt. Now the kids, the guys, they've got a game under their belt, and you can say, "Hey guys, remember when this happened?" You've got actual experience to build off of.
But
It's not going to be hot as shit. We've got a night game. If anything, I think it's supposed to be raining.
Yeah.
Which is going to be awesome.
Yep. Until you
So-
got to do laundry.
Yeah. But no, super hyped about game 2. Yeah. How did your first game of the year
Oh man!
go?
So all the way back to preschool flag football.
Yeah, that looked
And,
great.
Honestly, it wasn't terrible. My kid obviously did not have any excitement about it. I think he played 1 play.
It kind of looked like your offense was more spread. I don't know if that's what you were going for, but definitely a spread offense.
No, it wasn't. That's just how I could get him lined up. Obviously, had 1.5 hour practice going into that game, and they did most of the stuff I talked to him about. With another practice this week, we'll see how they go. You could tell I had some kid that played last year versus I had 2 kids that played last year, the rest of them were new. And when you have 6 kids and 2 of them know what they're doing and the other 4 don't, it gets rough.
Yeah.
So,
And
it's also preschool. The kids are 4.
Right.
Like, you know.
I did see a lot of parents come in and help, kids crying.
Yeah.
At one point, I think your kid and another kid were lined up like it was punt formation.
Yeah.
They were about 15 yards in the backfield.
I am not going to grab a flag. I'm not doing this. Okay, man. Like, can you at least stand on the field? And maybe. And one thing I noticed was, and I played a little different game today to work on this, is a lot of the kids would wait until the person's side by side to grab their flag instead of going to get them.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, you guys like to play tag, right? Go get the ball carriers' flags, and teaching them to attack. And maybe that works, maybe it doesn't. We'll find out. So all in all, pretty fun. Trying to tone it down and not be the high school coach at that moment. When I look at them, I'm like, you guys don't need to hold the ball the right way. Whatever, Are they having fun? Do they come back and play next year? That's my goal.
I was a little bit surprised to see the preschools hitting the lev sled at the end of the day, but, good for you.
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
Did Asher say you had fun, though? I mean,
Yes,
that's
he
a good
did.
thing. So he had
And
fun.
today's practice, every one of my kids was way more enjoyable. All of them were having fun. So I don't know if it's that first game jitters, getting back into school, like now that they're seeing each other at school, and like, hey, I know you now. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's starting to help. We'll see what Saturday brings. We got another game Saturday morning, and we'll go from there. So,
Yeah, I mean, that'll be good.
move on to week 2 of flag football, and I think we only got 6 weeks, and that's plenty.
Do you feel like, without diving into this real far again, do you feel like coaching flag football now at the Pee Wee level compared to coaching flag football with Bryson at the Pee Wee level, do you feel like you're better at it now? Like you've learned a few things? Maybe you're better prepared, more patience?
I think I have more patience for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm more prepared. Like,
If anything, less prepared.
less prepared. Basically being like, yeah, whatever, let's just go run around for 30 minutes. It's kind of an attitude, which probably shouldn't be the way to do. And I'm looking at fundamentals, okay? Like teaching kids, like, when do we go on the ball? When it says hike, or something like that. What do you call the guy snapping the ball? I'm working on fundamentals and just basic understanding of the game of football. Whereas I see the other coach, he's like, oh, I just want to score. It's like, cool. Like, these kids can run all day long. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I want you to learn, like, why are we standing this way? Why are we doing things like just kicking, catching, throwing?
3-point stance?
No, not even that. Like, not even that. Just like stand in this position.
Yeah.
Like, stand here. Don't block. Just don't let somebody come through. Just stand here with your arm out. I don't care.
And I think that's a big thing. Even when I would coach, not Pee Wee, obviously, but, like the 2nd, 3rd graders, you start to introduce some of those fundamentals of, hey, you're on the outside, you're going to seal this edge, and we're going to talk about what that means. Like, bring them back in.
Right.
Stuff like that, don't get beat deep. And you start to, like you said, establish some of those fundamentals, which only helps them as they get bigger. So.
Let's get on to bold topics for week number 3 as we break down the pick'ems. Also, quick shout out to Caleb Benj,
Yes.
week 1 winner, donated the winnings back. He said to pay it forward, so they're going to week 2, and we'll see how that goes. But let's break it down.
Well, he's already been notified. We have a winner for week 2.
Yeah, but I don't know if he wants to name announced on here.
Ah, that's true. So he won. He did not donate things back. All right, what do you got?
All right, so week number 3. We haven't talked about this. What do you want to do for the game of the week?
Game of the week. You guys are going to watch us figure this out live. So I think game of the week for... Ooh. All right, I got my vote. It's going to be really easy to say Monday Night Football and say Detroit and Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to continue to pick the obvious choice. I wonder about Broncos-Chargers.
Broncos-Chargers.
Division game. If the Broncos... There's a lot of
I'm
football
down.
left.
I'm down. Let's do it.
A lot of football left. But if the Broncos can win this game, there's a little bit of a power shift there.
Yeah.
Right? So
My pick for the garage time game of the week,
Broncos. I chose the Chargers. think they continue to roll.
Okay.
I think the Chargers are going to be a team that we see a lot out of this year.
I agree.
So
Let's break down some bold
yeah.
topics. Obviously, we're kicking off Thursday night. Buffalo is hosting Miami. There's nothing to talk about. Buffalo should win this game.
Yeah, you want something bold? Josh Allen is benched in the fourth quarter because they're too far ahead.
Out of the noon games, there's a couple good ones in there. I think the biggest one that strikes me is going to be Rams-Eagles.
Yeah.
I think that could be good. You were just talking about how the Rams are looking like a sleeper team. This is going to show us if they're for real.
So
I think that could be a decent game.
I think so. I mean, give me Philly in that one. Other noon games, Green Bay is going to destroy Cleveland, I think. But how about that Cincinnati-Minnesota game? Two teams.
I don't even know which way to go.
Yeah, two teams that have lost their starting quarterback.
Right.
So you're going to have backup. Who is Minnesota's backup? I just realized that. Who backs up McCarthy?
I don't know.
Is it Mason Rudolph?
Ooh, might
I
be.
think it's Mason Rudolph.
I bet it is.
So you got Mason Rudolph and Jake Browning. At least they know each other. But in a game where both of these teams and Aaron Jones is now out.
Oh, man.
So, again, too early to tell. But in the start of the season where both of these teams look like they could have a good season, you've got to salvage it at this point.
Ooh.
Carson Wentz.
Oh,
Okay, that's right. They did sign.
Minnesota. Let's go, baby.
Okay. So, who do you give it to? Do you go Wentz? Do you go Browning? They both got a superstar wide receiver. Yeah. I give the edge to Chase Brown over Jordan Mason, obviously.
Yeah. I'm going Minnesota. Their defense is way better. Simple as that.
Yeah.
That Cincinnati defense doesn't matter who's on the other side of the ball, really. Not reliable. Yeah, I'm going with that.
I'm going to go the opposite. Give me Cincinnati.
Nice. Do we want to talk about the Colts Titans?
So, Colts-Titans, I think this is another game where the Colts look like a good team. Obviously, Tennessee's spiraling. Cam Ward started to show some promise in week 2, but I don't think there's any question here that Indianapolis wins this game.
Yep, I agree. Steelers-Patriots. Steelers all day.
Yeah, I think the Steelers win this one.
Drake May probably going to take a couple steps forward against the defense. This would be a good challenge for him.
Yeah.
I mean, Pittsburgh has a good defense, so that'll be good. Another noon game. Baker and company's hosting whoever is the QB for the Jets.
I really want to see Tampa Bay look like a powerhouse.
Right.
Both of their games
Win this
so
game
far,
by 40.
Right. Both of these games so far, they squeaked out a win against Atlanta. They squeaked out a win against Houston. They know how to win those close games. Good teams win close games.
Right.
With the Jets starting a backup quarterback, I want to see Tampa destroy this team.
Yeah, win by 40.
Yeah.
I agree. Commanders, Raiders. Going with the Commanders on this one.
Washington gets back on track here.
I agree. GT, what's he got? 2.7 yards per carry. The only person he's not beating is Chase Brown. So not a good look there. Commanders win that one.
I do want to point out one of the most comical moments of the week in all of week 2. Geno Smith. Vegas had a chance to make this comeback against, who did they play? The Chargers. And granted, this was another game that was never really in question. The Chargers looked like they controlled it the whole game. But it's 4th down and 7. And they're trying to make a comeback. They're in the 4th quarter. And Geno Smith breaks 2 sacks and throws the ball away. The fuck do you throw the ball away on 4th down when you're trying to win the game?
At least throw it somewhere.
Yeah.
Throw the pick, whatever.
So Washington kills them.
Yeah. Atlanta, Carolina. We already talked about this. Atlanta's going on all cylinders. Carolina is lucky if they have a football team. So, Texans, Jaguars could, I don't know. Trevor Lawrence could shock some people here. But after watching that Houston defensive line get out to Tampa Bay and Baker, I'm going with Houston.
I'm going with Houston. I think this is where Houston gets their first win. I still don't believe in Jacksonville until they prove me otherwise.
Down to the 305 slates. Seattle is hosting New Orleans. Spencer Rattler looks okay at times. At other times he looks like Spencer Rattler. So I'm picking Seattle on this one.
This is a really rough place to play. I'm going Seattle.
Oh, yeah. The 12th man is real in
Yeah.
Seattle, you know. Sunday, 3:25. Here we go. Dallas versus the Chicago Bears. Bear down. I'm going with Dallas.
Yeah, give me Dallas. Unfortunately, I cannot believe in the Chicago Bears until they show something better than what they've shown the first 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Fortunately, I mean, hopefully they shock the world, win a game at home. That'd be cool. Arizona is traveling to the Bay Area to take on the Niners.
So big question here, is Purdy playing? And I don't think we know yet. So rolling with the assumption that Purdy is not playing, give me Arizona. Yep.
Did you see the quarterback last week?
I did.
I'm going with the Niners. That is a plug-and-play quarterback system there.
Yeah.
You know, obviously love CMC, came from Carolina, so I'm going with them. Niners over Cardinals. Sunday night game with Carrie Underwood. Chiefs are going to New York to play the Giants.
I feel like Kansas.
You want to pick the Giants, you really do.
I do. I feel like Kansas City should win this game. But if there is an upset coming this week, it's right here.
Yeah. That defensive line is hungry.
Yeah.
Like, hungry. Like, they're going to get after people. They fly around, they make plays. I love watching how they do it. You know what? I had the Chiefs picked. Let's pick the upset. I'll go with the Giants.
I feel like.
I can't win the pick'ems anyway, so.
Right. I feel like the Giants have come close in the first 2 weeks of the season. They're hungry for that win. What better than the Kansas City Chiefs? But I feel like Kansas City probably rights the ship a little bit here.
They kind of have to.
Yeah.
And obviously, what we really would probably be when the NFL picks their game, America's Game of the Week is probably going to be the Ravens-Lions. I would suspect. But I think Baltimore blows them out of the water. It's at home. Lamar and company are cruising. They lost a tough one to Buffalo. I mean, and it's Buffalo. Like, it took Buffalo everything they had to beat them.
So they both had really tough week 1 losses. They both had huge week 2 wins,
Right.
obviously. Baltimore dropping 41, Detroit dropping 52. They both won by 30 points. I think Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Baltimore is so deep of a team where Detroit, I feel like, even though no disrespect to Gibbs and Montgomery, if you can shut down that passing game, Detroit is very beatable. Baltimore, I don't know how you stop them.
No.
They just shift gears and go a different way.
Yeah, I mean, you got obviously two different ways to attack the run.
Yeah.
Lamar and Henry, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews. It's so, like you said, it probably should be one of the best offenses in the league.
It should be.
It really should be, you know. So let's talk some bold topics here. Obviously, Brandon Aubrey turned heads last week. Great kicking performance for Dallas. I don't think it comes back alive like that. I mean, you can't keep kicking forever. But I'm going to make a bold prediction on Carolina. This could very well be the end of Bryce Young if it continues. Like, this is year 3.
Mm-hmm.
You come out cold and you come out hot. You got to put 4 quarters of football together. You have to. You're the number 1 overall pick. You're in your 3rd year. You're playing a team that is not a powerhouse. Okay? Now then, his offense is good. The defense is still so-so. You got to come out and play all 4 quarters of football. I'm not saying you have to win. Put together a solid 4-quarter effort, and maybe you save your spot. If not, I'm looking to go to Andy Dalton week 4.
Do you gain anything putting Dalton in? Or do you just ride this experiment clear to the
Oh, they're going to ride it out, but they have to.
I mean, because, Dalton is nobody's quarterback in the future.
Right.
And honestly, I really think that you lose this game, you kind of lose your chance to make a run of this division. And realistically, I don't think they do anything.
No,
I think Tampa Bay and even Atlanta are way above where Carolina's at right now. And New Orleans, for that matter. I don't know. I think I think you're right. I think there's several quarterbacks here that this will be the end if we don't see something better. Bryce Young is one of them. I still believe that another person on that list could either be Trevor Lawrence or Kyler Murray. If we don't start to see something that puts them towards the playoffs, what do you do?
I think Jacksonville relies more with their defense than their offense.
Yeah.
Because Lawrence has put together some good games.
He has.
He has.
Yeah.
Kyler probably should have already been done, honestly.
Kyler,
Not a big fan of him.
Right.
Like, I see Kyler Murray, and I look at Bryce Young, and I'm like, identical.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Except Kyler is more mobile.
Well, and Kyler has some character concerns.
Well, that's true, too,
you know,
yeah.
So, yeah.
And the thing is Kyler's got Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride to throw to. Bryce didn't have any of that. You know?
Right.
And I think, obviously, they're playing a weaker team. Seattle is going to be a top 3 defense after the end of this game, just because of who they're playing. No, another upset I want to look at to see, like, what we're talking about. Is this the game that Cam Ward actually comes out and does something? Do the Titans upset the Colts? Like, I mean, they weren't that good at the beginning of the year, and now they're playing well.
I think...
Are they going to keep it up, or is week 3 the week that we see the real Indianapolis Colts?
Right. I mean, I think the Indy still wins this game pretty well. Looking at Cam Ward in Tennessee, man, they have got a tough schedule. Man, I don't know if I see Tennessee having a winnable game until week 6, and they play Vegas.
That's a tough start for a rookie quarterback.
I mean, looking at where they're at now, though, Indianapolis, Houston, then they play Arizona.
Okay, they could beat Arizona.
They could, yeah. I mean, it's not a brutal schedule, but
No, not really.
it's not a great one.
All right, what were they thinking? We got to talk about it. Everybody in America is talking about all this stuff. We're not going to mention any names. We're just going to talk about the
In
state
general.
of America. Okay? Obviously, you've had a very well-known person get assassinated. You've had a murder on an Amtrak or subway.
It was a Subway, yeah.
Subway. You've had school shootings, and then today you find some young man who's hanging from a tree in college.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on in America?
I don't know. This
Like,
is...
This,
I am legitimately
sick.
sick and disappointed that this is the country that my kids get to grow up in.
Yep, I 100% agree. And I don't even care what your political belief is, your religious belief. We, as a society of grown adults, have to do better.
Yeah, I mean, this goes so far beyond, like, the bipartisan system and who's the president and who's not the president. Because, like, dude, we have had a mostly liberal, Senate and president. We've had mostly a Republican Congress, Senate, president, and this is happening across the board. Like, I don't think this is one party or the other. This is, as a whole, a clusterfuck.
Right, it is. I think it starts as how we are raising young men to what we are doing in schools and how we're not disciplining anybody.
And I think the biggest problem is that the two parties that are in power are too busy blaming each other that nobody's creating any type of solution to this. And it's not...
The media's fear-mongering, all that bullshit, But I think if you're to sit down and look at anybody who's causing these crimes, doing anything, and just look at the way they were raised, I guarantee you can fix the problem. Are we being jackasses to the kids and pushing them over an edge? Is there really a mental health crisis that needs addressed? Is it just as far as like, hey, quit putting screens in front of your kids and actually pay attention to your kids?
Yeah.
There's so many different things because people that are growing up to kill anybody, like there's some way that got happen. Like, no, I'm not gonna sit here and say, hey, you were born evil. Like, I just don't buy that. Like,
and I think in general, because like somebody asked me the other day that, like, how do you think that you fix this whole situation? And I don't want to sound like a hippie or like a, love is everything kind of thing, but
ELE.
There's so much hate in the world.
Yes,
Like,
there is.
everybody, and I mean everybody,
Yep.
hates each other. And it's like, I don't know, maybe things were glorified because I was a kid or whatever, but I seem to think about a time that, like, there were two different opinions, and again, not just government, but anything, okay? Two different opinions, and there could be a debate or a discussion about those two different opinions, and you may not agree at the end, but you could listen to each other's opinion and go on about their day.
Right.
Now it's, I have this opinion, and we fucking hate each other.
Right.
And I don't know how to fix that, but I think that's a lot of it.
Well, and it's simple as this. Why do we not go back to the 50s and the two things you don't talk about in public, religion and politics?
Yeah.
Like, I think everybody might have been happier back then. Obviously, there was still assassination and shit going on. But a lot of this has to do with social media. These people out there have no problem voicing their opinion, right, wrong, indifferent, doesn't matter. They're voicing an opinion. Somebody else who has nothing better to do gets on there and argues with you for 3 hours.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you guys didn't change each other's opinion, and you wasted 3 hours of your life.
The problem is,
why?
Right. Everybody gets a soapbox.
Yeah.
And no matter right, wrong, indifferent, like you said, everybody gets a platform
Yep.
to spiel their side of things. And it used to be, and again, this is archaic, probably not the solution. It used to be that if you talked out of line, quite literally you get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Like, like sooner or later, somebody's tired of hearing it. And now, man, you can just rattle on and on and on. And what's worse is eventually you're going to find somebody that agrees with you.
Right.
And then you get justification, and then you get this following, and it just like,
You get a cult-like behavior behind
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Oh my God, we all believe this. And the thing is like, I can sit here and tell you for a fact that if you have voted for a president, a congressman, a mayor, or even a sheriff, and you believe and are backing every single move they've done, then you're not real.
right.
Like, I can sit here and tell you that that's not a way to pick, oh yeah, I love everything you did as a president or a sheriff or whatever elected official. Bogus.
Yeah.
Like, so all this opinions, like, it's good to have opinions. That's how things happen. That's how change happens. You know, it took me a long time to get to that point. Like, I used to call people stupid back in the day when I was younger because, like, oh yeah, you're not a Republican, you're dumb. You like this, you're stupid. Like, no, like, the difference of opinion brings change. We have to get rid of the hate, as you said.
And I think that's where the problem is like, there's a difference between your beliefs and your personality.
Yes.
Like, there is a difference there. And I think the problem is now, and I'm not just talking government, and this is a slippery slope that some people watching are not going to like, but certain beliefs and physical characteristics are not who you are as a person.
Correct.
Like, I am a Republican. This is what I am. No, you have Republican beliefs.
Right.
I am African American. You are. But that doesn't have to be your personality.
Right.
I am a straight male. Okay, that's your sexual preference. That doesn't have to be who you are. Like,
Right.
there's this gray line between this is what I believe and this is who I am, and it just is all blended together.
Right.
You know, and it's, I don't know, man. It's rough.
And I'm with you. Like, I can sit here and say whatever my belief is, I'm going to get chastised for it. It's like, okay, when am I not allowed to have an opinion? Where'd the freedom of free speech goes? I didn't attack anybody by saying what my opinion was. Now, if I come out and say a bunch of mean names to you, I deserve to be punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
But if I sit here and I engage in a nice debate, or I'm asking questions, or I'm trying to learn, or I'm sincerely trying to understand, well, why am I getting chastised for that?
Right.
And that's the problem. So many people want to go on to this and be like, hey, look at this from Google and just look at all these different sources, and they all say different shit. No kidding.
Right. The internet's such a vast place.
Like, that's what the news is supposed to do. If they all said the same thing, well, there'd only be one of them.
Right.
Right? You know? if everybody believed what the New York Times said, there would be no other paper.
Right.
So all the other papers got to say something else so people buy them, and that's how things work. I, for one, I believe more about life experiences. What have I witnessed in places I've been that can prove why things are the way they are? I'll be honest with you. I can go out as a IHSA official and go to any gym on any given night and tell you exactly what people can get thrown out before the game starts. And it doesn't matter what your race is, what your religion is, it's how you are carrying yourself.
Right.
Like that's simple as that. You know, if you got the dad that's sitting up there watching his kid, like that guy's gonna be a problem.
And
He's down there front and center, trying to be a coach.
Yep.
Like, that's the problem, you know.
And I think there's a loss of acceptance. Like,
Oh yeah, there's that.
I have friends that are an opposite political view of myself. I have made friends in the past that are a different religious view. I have made friends that are a different ethnicity. I have made friends that are obviously a different gender. I have made friends that are a different sexual orientation. And that's not a common thing now.
But
Like, there's all these different groups in America, and they don't overlap at all.
right.
And they refuse to overlap.
The,
And I think that's where a lot of these hate crimes come, is now all of a sudden it's not my neighbor, it's not my friend, it's not my coworker, it's one of them,
yeah.
you know.
And my thing is, everything you just broke down, I could give two shits less about any of that.
Yeah, I really don't care either. That's the thing.
How do you treat my kid when he waves at you? How do you walk down the street when you walk through your neighborhood?
Right.
You know, if your neighbor has a house fire, are you over there trying to help out and talk to him? Or are you the one peeking through the blinds and talking shit? Like, that's the stuff I want to see. Like,
Right.
I don't care who you sleep with, or who you're talking to, or what you're doing, or I don't give a shit about any of that. Like, that's your own personal thing. Like,
Right.
I don't care, you know? I don't want to see a man and a woman doing it. I don't want to see two women. I don't care. I don't want to see any of it. Like,
Right.
go inside your own house and do it all. You know, it's PBA for a reason. Like,
I mean, yeah, whatever
Yeah.
makes you happy is fine.
I don't
Just-
care. Like,
if I'm not a part of it, but it's weird because if I chose somebody, and honestly this is across the board, if you chose somebody that was the same demographic as me in some way or another, choose white, choose heterosexual, choose choose male, choose whatever, choose somebody that's the same demographic in some way, shape, or form. I have met somebody in that demographic that is a piece of shit.
Right.
Like, I don't just like them because they're like me.
Right.
So I think there's too much hate, intolerance, a whole lot of us and them mentality, and I think it's leading to a lot of this violence. And the problem is that the powers that be, whether that be the media or the government on any side, doesn't really give a shit about fixing that. They just want to further push the us and them agenda.
And here's my biggest thing. I just had this talk with my boss the other day. Like, I want everybody to eat. That's what everybody needs to do. You just may not do it at my table.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, I don't care what your beliefs are. You come hang out. The second you cause problems, well, there's the door. Like that, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, more people need to be of. Like, hang out with your close friends, and don't start shit with everybody just to be a piece of shit.
Well, and I saw something on Facebook the other day, and I said something to Crystal about it, and I won't say who it was, but the comment that I saw was, all right, it's time. We need to have an actual civil war. And I looked at my wife and I was like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That is the last thing I want.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the country divided. I don't want to be fucking drafted because I'm a medical provider and I got to go work on the front line.
Right.
I don't want to worry about my kids being drafted in 10 years to fight against their cousins. Like, I don't want a fucking civil war.
The last thing I want is a civil war. Yeah, no.
Like, how are you hoping for that?
Yeah, like that's dumb. Like, all you're gonna do is have mass violence and deaths, and we're gonna have a country that's weak. So now we're fighting each other, and somebody else comes in. Somebody else comes in, and then next thing you know, I gotta speak fucking Russian or German or something. Like, I don't want that.
This isn't the 1700s anymore. You can't have a civil war and expect it to be okay.
Right. Yeah,
like, somebody else is coming in.
Right.
You know?
And it's just crazy that you saw that mindset. And to me, that's a weak person.
Yeah.
That person is, what is wrong with America? You want a civil, why?
Yeah. What are we solving?
Yeah. You teach your kid not to solve anything with violence, and then you want to solve things with violence. Like, well, what are we doing? You know? I want my kid, I want the America I grew up in.
Right.
15, 20 years ago. I remember riding my bike down the street. I barely want to let my kid do that. And we live in a town of less than 3,000 people, and I barely want to let my kid do that.
And it is a different world. And I'm not saying that I agree with everything that happens in this world or everything that's happening with any side of government or taxes or any of that stuff. But, man, I think a civil war would be a whole lot worse.
Oh, it would. Definitely would.
So.
No, I just think as society, as parents raising kids, as politicians, as government officials, as bosses in the workforce, we have to do better.
Yeah.
We have to do better for the future of America, and if it doesn't happen, there's not going to be a future.
Dude, I even put the Green Bay Packers in the top 6 of my power rankings at the beginning of the season. If I can do that, you guys can get along.
Spoken like a true sports fan.
Yeah.
If I can like the other team, you can like your cousin next door who wants to do whatever.
Whatever, yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
bother you. If they're not asking you to do it. Anyway.
Whoa! But no, I'm with you. We got to wake up. We got to do what's best for the kids.
Yeah.
So, well, that's going to wrap up another fantastic episode of Garage Time. Like, follow on all social medias. This podcast will drop sometime this week, as we are both working people, and we get it to you as we can. And by we, I mean Kyle. He's the tech guy.
The goal is always by Thursday night football.
Always by Thursday night. That's a good goal. Like,
But we'll see where we get.
yeah. So until next time.
It's garage time.